Tiger brokers and MooMoo have seen better days, from $38.50 to the current $7.91. And for MooMoo, $204 to the current $63.73. So, what on earth happened? I'm going to share with you current news that probably caused the price to crash, and of course, next will be my favorite on technical analysis on what could be the possible movement for the upcoming months. We understand that FUTU MooMoo and Tiger brokers, Fintech, and a lot of other IT tech firms in China will face and have faced regulatory risks. It's related to the recent crackdown in China that caused Alibaba, Tencent, etc. companies to have major correction in their price. Now, the point in discussion is China's new personal data privacy law, which will take effect on 1st of November. Now, MooMoo and Tiger help bridge China retail investors to the rest of the world. In overseas stock markets like the US, etc., there have been multiple websites and media outlets that the brokerages could potentially violate data privacy rules and run into compliance risk. Now, FUTU MooMoo have quickly reacted to mention that they have been strictly complying with relevant laws and regulations and will continue to cooperate with the regulatory authorities to better safeguard personal information. Now, this new personal data privacy law will regulate export of personal data, which might pose a challenge to online brokers like MooMoo and Tiger as they provide cross-border trading services to Chinese citizens in China. Now, one very interesting point to note is that it mentioned brokerages like FUTU and UP Fintech don't have brokerage license on mainland, but Chinese citizens can open accounts online after submitting personal information. Now, Chinese investors can only invest in overseas securities market through cross-border connect schemes and through qualified domestic institutional investors, short form QDII. Now, we must know that UP Fintech and MooMoo are working with trusted custodians, which means that when we trade, our assets will be under a custodian account. For example, in Singapore, the custodian will be DBS, which is very safe. And it also means that as our assets are under custodian account, and in the unfortunate event that MooMoo or Tiger closes down, they are unable to touch our asset, which also means that the stocks that we invest in are not registered in our name, which means that we do not automatically receive communications directly from the companies we invest in. Now, the point in question is, will the companies need to have our information reviewed to them? If not, then I do not see any problem with the new regulatory law affecting MooMoo or Tiger. I will continue to keep a close look on the events unfolding and will update accordingly. Next on technical analysis. So we will look at FUTU MooMoo for technical analysis first. So these are the previous lines drawn. They've broken through everything. Basically, it's looking pretty bad. Now let's take a look at how bad can it go. 204.25, that was the peak, and right now, of course, it's at 63.4 or something. Okay, so pre-market, it looks pretty bad too. I think a couple of percent down. I think about 10% down. Let us clear everything so it doesn't look too messy. Okay, let's go up closer. There's a few things that I turned on. MACD, Bollinger Band, and moving averages. Okay, this is on a daily chart based on 6 months. For daily chart, we can see that it actually went down, broke through every SMAs. Bollinger Band, broken through the bottom of the Bollinger Band. And of course, MACD going down. We can see it's going down more. It didn't have volume here, but the volume actually shows quite a bit of panic selling, which means the recent 1 week or 2 weeks, the amount of people selling, dumping in panic has been at least 5 times more than usual. Okay. One thing very interesting is let's take a look at the weekly chart. Okay, based on weekly chart, you can see it's also at the bottom of the band. Okay, it's going to touch this MA120. So if you want me to take it, the next level of resistance will be under MA120, which is around $55. So we might see it hit $55 before it rebound meaningfully. The next few lines of resistance, let us draw the next few lines of resistance. I'll go back to daily chart based on probably a year. Okay, let's take a look at how is it going to look like. Okay, let's draw here this line and this line, and then of course there's this line. Okay, never mind the $28. If it drops to $28, I don't know what to say. So this is based on technical analysis. All right, the first resistance, which is slightly below the MA120 on the weekly chart, will be around $52.30. Next will be $47, and of course next will be $36. Will it drop to that level? Honestly, if you ask me, no. It shouldn't drop to that level. I'm pretty sure if it drops to that level, anybody will scoop it up without fail. So I do not think that's what the market makers want to do, and they probably will not be so stupid to make it that low. Okay, and it's below. So it broke through the last resistance and it's going down below. So it put probably 53. It's quite damaging, all right. But does it have? Those who have followed me closely will know that my valuation was 100 plus to 200 plus. All right, there has been a lot of other reports with a similar valuation, but of course everything changed if the regulations hamper the take-up rate in China. Although we must also understand that in terms of fundamentals, you can see that the recent growth, a lot of the recent growth, like up to 70 or 80% of the growth recently, even paying customers or the number of users, come from outside of China mainland. So we must take note of that. Okay, same for, I think probably the same for UP Fintech. All right, let's take a look at UP Fintech and see how is it. Basically, UP Fintech is similar situation with the at the bottom of the MACD. This is on the daily, of course. At the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Actually, it broke below the bottom of the Bollinger Band. MACD is slightly worse than FUTU MooMoo. Okay, from the height of $38.50. So over a year, almost a year or 10 months of trading, it has whiplashed. It has battered a lot of fellow retail investors. Okay, I did buy some puts, I think around $12. So I'm at a loss right now. It's hopefully it can turn back up, because I didn't do intensive research because I'm not buying a lot. I only sold one lot of put, which damage is very small, a couple hundred USD. That's all. So it's not so bad. Okay, so this is let's go to the weekly also for UP Fintech and see how is it. All right, so you must take note. So for UP Fintech, it's already below the MA120. Okay, it's going to touch the bottom, which is at $5, and $5 will be at the consolidation zone. Okay, for UP Fintech, it's at the consolidation zone. So if it drops to $5, will you buy it? I will buy it, honestly, if you ask me. Now the MACD looks as bad as ever. Okay, very, very bad. In my opinion, it may drop further, but not like a 10% daily already. It will probably taper down to the dropping, as in to the way it drops, it crash. Okay, and anyway, towards the consolidation zone, we are very near towards the consolidation zone, so it's not too bad. Once it hits the consolidation zone, it definitely is worth looking at. I will definitely buy a few lots meaning a couple of thousand number of shares, and see how it goes, because it's at the consolidation zone. If FUTU MooMoo drops to the consolidation zone, I will buy even more, which is at let me see, where's the FUTU MooMoo's consolidation zone. Okay, for FUTU MooMoo's consolidation zone, there's two. One is over here, it's at the $30+, and another one is of course at the $10. If it's at the $10, okay, so that's all for the technical analysis. So tread carefully, don't try to catch a falling knife. If you want, right, buy at amount that you'll be comfortable with, and not go panicking and go berserk. Okay, so these are the few lines that you probably be a better entry point. So I would, let's say if it drops to 53, I'll buy some. If it drops to like 35 or so, I will buy more. Okay, that's all from me. So if you like what I have shared with you, please subscribe. Thank you.